Hey, Boozhoo! How you doing? Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. And before we go any further, Natasha and I were just watching some old movies here. And I just wanted to share this clip. We filmed this. This is the St. Crispin's Day speech from Henry V. All right, on screen.
This day is called the Feast of Crispin. He that outlives this day and comes safe home will stand a tiptoe when the day is named, and rouse him at the name of Crispin. He that shall live this day and see old age will yearly on the vigil feast his neighbors and say, tomorrow is St. Crispin. Then will he strip his sleeves and show his scars, and say, these wounds I had on Crispin's day. Old men forget, yet all shall be forgot. But he'll remember with advantages what feats he did that day. Then shall our names, familiar in his mouth as household words, Harry the King, Bedford and Exeter, Warwick and Talbot, Salisbury and Gloucester, be in their flowing cups freshly remembered. This day shall the good man teach us sing, and Crispin shall ne'er go by, from this day to the ending of the world, but we in it shall be remembered. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers. For he that shall shed his blood with me shall be my brother. Be he ne'er so vile, this day shall gentle his condition. And gentlemen in England now abed shall think themselves accursed they were not here, and hold their manhoods cheap, whilst he speaks who fought with us upon St. Crispin's Day! Yeah!
Industry secret. These food kits here are not in cans, they're in Mylar pouches. This is food that's delicious, nutritious, and lasts for 25 whole years.
Computer,
Canned food
mute the laptop.
So listen up. Right here in the closet, with no refrigeration, with no special
Computer,
storage, is the
mute the
survival food kit. They last
computer.
for 25 years.
Computer,
And honestly, some of the best survival
mute
packs on the
laptop.
market right now.
All right. Hey, Boozhoo. Welcome back to the show. And, yeah. So, we hijacked the, Starship Enterprise. What do you think, sweetie? Oh, it's great. Yeah. It's pretty smooth sailing, I gotta say. You know? But, how you guys doing? Let's see who's here today. Oh, Shady Side Ice. What an effect. What do you mean? We're just flying around in the Starship Enterprise. We're boldly going where no one has gone before, huh, honey? That's right. Yeah. And, let's see. Jessica Gonzalez is here. Hey, sweetie, did you see that? Jessica's here. Yeah, Bino Kika Jeb, Jessica. And who else is here? Jim Dunn. Stardate. It is Stardate February 23rd, 2021. And let's see, what else is it? It's Tuesday. It's Nijo Gija Good. It is the second day And yeah, so up bright and early, 6 o'clock, and playing around with the green screen. Can't get enough of the green screen. Oh, Richard's here. Aneen, Richard, welcome to the show. And so, yeah, got some new digs. Thought I might do a live stream from outer space. Yeah. Sunny day. Actually, you know what? You guys want to see another video? I'm actually just sort of waiting out the... I had this cool sound effect. It's not working. Should I wait for the sound effects, or do you want to beam me down to Sesame Street? I could beam me down to Sesame Street. All right. Okay. Can you beam me just from my chair? Yeah, sure. All right. Beaming down to Sesame Street. Go ahead, whenever you're ready. All right, beaming down to Sesame Street. In 3, 2, hold on. 3, 2, where is it? I'm looking for Sesame Street. La, la, la. I know we had it, but where did we... Oh, here we go. All right, I'm going to beam you down to Sesame Street. You ready? Yeah, okay. All right, beaming down. Oh, jeez. Look at this. Hey, sweetie, I made it. Can you hear me? Clear as day. Wow. Yeah, that Star Trek technology, I mean, it sounds different now, but... Yep, so here we are on Sesame Street. Hello? Anybody here? Hello, Boozhoo? Boozhoo? Where's everybody? Yikes, man. This place has really taken the COVID lockdown to another level. Hello, Big Bird. Snuffleupagus. Anybody? Anybody here? No? Well, that's weird. Nobody's here but us. So I don't know. Sesame Street. It's a ghost town here. What do you think, sweetie? About what? I don't know. I don't like it down here. It's too quiet. What are you reading? I'm not reading. Well, I'm reading Store, I guess. I don't have one of those like tricorders. I forgot to bring the tricorder. Do you want me to beam it down? No, that's okay. Hey, what's that now? It's not supposed to be there. Hold on. Oh, for crying out loud. Sweetie, will you beam me back up? Yeah, okay. Beaming up in 3, 2, 1. How come it sounds like a gun? Anyway. So, yeah. Sesame Street. How come my browser bit's not going to work?
There's one simple trick to controlling your weight.
Cardiothoracic surgeon Stephen Gundry says he solved the weight loss mystery.
He solved the weight loss mystery?
The way I think about what I eat.
Should we take a look at this?
I've seen on diet ever.
If you've been struggling with your weight, I've got the solution for you.
People at home right now are
This
saying,
guy's got the solution for you.
Sound too good to be true? Well, Dr. Gundry is living proof that his discovery works.
Computer, will you enlarge the computer screen from behind me?
Miles a week. I was doing half marathons on the weekend. I was going to the gym 1 hour every day.
That's him? He looks like a lady.
Vegetarian diet, and no matter what I did, I couldn't.
Oh, that's him there.
Then Dr. Gundry discovered a remarkable scientific breakthrough that changed everything.
I
Oh,
attribute
what?
almost all of my weight loss to the addition of one thing that I did to my diet.
This is a tomato. Think it's good for you? Think again.
Think
My
again.
name is Dr. Stephen Gundry, author of the best-selling books Dr. Gundry's Diet Evolution and The Plant Paradox.
How
And
can
I'm
that
here
possibly
today
be
to blow
a
your mind.
bestseller?
You
Who
see, over
buys
the last 30 years of
a
research
book called
and
that?
performing over 10,000 surgeries, I've discovered some shocking things about the human body.
Shocking
That hold
things.
the key to helping you feel smarter.
Computer, thank you for shutting that off. So, yeah. You know, the one thing you got to think about with Star Trek, what's so bizarre about that whole operation, if they had a supercomputer like that can do everything just on voice command, from making a cup of tea to, driving the ship, plus they had data, what did they need all the staff for? I mean, they had thousands or hundreds of people on the Starship Enterprise doing all these different manual tasks. You had 2 people driving up front, and you'd be like, what is the point of this? I don't understand. But I had the Star Trek sound effects that really made this effect kind of cool. You know what? I am going to go back to... Sweetie, will you take me back down to Star Trek? Or to Star Trek? To Sesame Street? I want to get to the bottom of something. We can make a call from down there. Okay, sweetie. Hang on. Going to beam you back down to Sesame Street in 3, 2, 1. Okay. That's nothing like the TV show. But you wonder, what is up with this place? Where did everybody go? Sweetie, can you make a call for me? Yeah, sure. Would you mind calling George W. Bush? Yeah, sure. Let me just Google his name. George W. Bush. Former president. Okay, here it is. Did you want his cell phone or his home phone? How about his cell phone? Okay. All right, I'm ringing, patching you through. Hello, is this George Bush? Okay, hang on the line. We're going to put you on the air. All right, sweetie. George Bush is on line 2. All right. Mr. Former President. Hey there, Nanaboozhoo. How you doing? I'm doing just well. I'm down here because I'm a little concerned. Where are you? I'm on Sesame Street. We were doing a show from the Enterprise, and I beamed down to Sesame Street, but nobody's here, and I'm kind of concerned that maybe there was another terrorist attack or something. Do you think maybe Al Qaeda or somebody attacked Sesame Street? Well, I don't know, man. It could be old Saddam Hussein. I thought you killed him. No, that was just an actor. We don't really kill anybody. It's all just a TV show. Oh, really? I didn't know that. But what do you suppose happened to everybody here? All right, you want me to come clean about something? I'll let you in a little secret. I never told anybody this, but I'm going to tell you now. All those people, they're hiding. They're hiding from me. They're hiding from you? Why? Why would they hide from you? Well, sometimes I get the thirst for blood. You get the thirst for blood? What do you mean? Well, I was part of the Skull and Bone Society, Me and my daddy, they call my daddy Poppy. And in that Skull and Bone Society, we drink adrenochrome. We drink a type of blood, keeps us young. Because that's why, not a lot of people know this, but I'm actually... I am the Count. I am the Count who goes around Sesame Street drinking blood. What? You are not. No, it's true. I am actually George Bush in disguise. ah. What do you think I talk like this for real? It's such a stereotype. No way, man. Really? Yes. I am former President George W. Bush. Okay, this is a ridiculous bit. All right. Do you have any idea, Count, what happened to everybody here on Sesame Street? They're all inside. They're afraid of the sun. The sun, it burns my eyes. It burns my skin. I cannot be outside. But I thought you were actually George Bush. Oh, that's right. I don't know. I don't know where they are. All right. Well, I'm going to get going. So you're really George Bush? Why did you decide to tell us today? Well, I don't know, man. I'm tired of living a lie. People need to know who the real George Bush is. And, well, maybe it's time I tell them. All right. Well, I'm going to go, okay, sir? Hey, did you teach an Ojibwe word of the day yet? No, not yet. I haven't even gotten around to it. Can I teach it? Yeah, sure. Hold on here. The Ojibwe word of the day is, of course, not very accessible because I'm trying to do too many things at once. Niwi, or Niwa Giwe. I want to go home. I'm here on Sesame Street, but all I want is to go home. Niwa Giwe. I want to go home. Yeah, I want to go home too. I want to go home back to the ranch. But you didn't let me teach it. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Today's Ojibwe word of the day. Niwa Giwe. I want to go home. And I'm going to go back to the ranch. Well, where are you right now? Oh, I'm in Transylvania. Because I am. The Count. Not just kidding. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, thank you. Niwa Giwe. I want to go home. Sesame Street's kind of creeping me out. But I'll talk to you later, okay, sir? Yeah, right. Gigawa men, menowa. I'll see you later. I'll see you again, Niji. There you go. George W. Bush. Thank you, sweetie. Yeah, no problem. Let's see, anything else going on here? Let's see what the viewers are saying. Let's see what the Boozhoo crew are up to. I'm going to have to move this, though. Shady Side is here. Boozhoo, Shady. Yeah, I got a new outfit. I took off the old blue flannel and the green bandana because the green bandana kind of screws up our green screen. You'd see right through my head. Not to destroy the illusion. Sorry, kids. I'm actually in. I'm really in Sesame Street. But, yeah, so I changed my shirt and my bandana. Jessica Gonzalez says Sesame Street must be located in Italy. You'd think Sesame Street's... It kind of looks Italian, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Not that I've ever been there. But, America wishes its cities look like this. Nanaboozhoo is living in the future. I was living on the Enterprise, which is kind of living in the past. Again, the 80s. Or 90s, I guess. I think that was Next Generation. That's my favorite Star Trek. The Next Generation. With Jean-Luc Picard. I like how they gave Jean-Luc Picard a French name. Speaking of other countries. But he's got like that thick English accent. Like he's clearly not from France. Oh, bloody. I'll say that. Number one. My name is Jean-Luc Picard. Make it so, Jean-Luc Picard. From France. What? You don't believe I'm Jean-Luc Picard from France? The suit, yeah. Oh, thank you. I'm a man in black. Brandy says, I love it. Richard's got his mask on, his little emojis. Yeah. I was going to start the show wearing a mask and take it off, say, "Oh, excuse me. I was just busy being a good person. Would you give me a pat on the back? I wore a mask while I was walking around." Masks. Is Joe Biden wearing 3 masks now? Idiot. Brandy Marie says, "I need to get my rabbit." Is this in response to the adrenochrome comment? Today's Sesame Street is brought to you today by the letter A for adrenochrome. Look into it. All the celebrities love their adrenochrome. There was a conspiracy out there when the COVID thing started, where they were saying that it came from a tainted batch of adrenochrome. They were making it in Wuhan, China. And the celebrities, they were going to be able to track who is, getting this illegal substance. And so that's why all these celebrities were getting sick. They're like, "Oh, Tom Hanks has got the COVID." It's like, no, he's going through adrenochrome withdrawal. He's starting to age. For you guys that don't know what adrenochrome is, it's basically real life vampirism. They say that they extract blood from human beings when they're in a great state of fear and panic and whatever. And the adrenals or whatever, the adrenaline, whatever that word is, and they turn it into this drink or this, I don't know what, adrenochrome, and it's supposed to give you eternal youth and vitality, and I think it makes you high. But all these celebrities do it, and you'll never see a story on that unless you're watching Sesame Street. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? There's old Mr. Hooper's store. Just sad. That's what the children's television workshop gets by hiring somebody that old. It's like he often dies, and they got to go and explain it to the children. How come Mr. Hooper isn't on a show anymore? Well, let's write a story, okay? We'll explain it to Big Bird, and then maybe Big Bird can teach a lesson on mortality. Where'd everybody go in Sesame Street? Sesame Street? Sesame Street. But yeah, so Mr. Hooper's store, I think Ernie and Bert live up in those apartments. Oscar's can is gone even. Poor old Oscar. Oh, you're such a grouch. That's like, yeah, he's a grouch. He's covered in green fur. He lives in a can. He's homeless. He's naked. And he's not even crabby. He's not grouchy. He's depressed. That's what everybody on Sesame Street seemed to forget. Like depression isn't always just crying around. Sometimes it manifests like old Oscar. Sometimes it can just look like you're just, impossible to please. But for a lot of men, they can't show fear and despair and grief and depression. It just comes out as snarky behavior, And that's what I think was going on with Oscar. I think Oscar was a deeply unhappy person. And he had all these crazy, overly optimistic people, just fake happy. That's what Sesame Street's really about. Fake happiness. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? How to get to Sesame Street? Oscar was unhappy. Sunny day. Not really. Not for Oscar. It was always, you look around, oh, look at this beautiful sunny day. But it's all a lie. Do you guys want to see what Sesame Street's really about? You want to see why Oscar was so unhappy? I'll show you why. Because this is really what Sesame Street is. It's a black void. When you get behind all the camera tricks and Hollywood magic, Sesame Street is eternal nothingness. Hello, hello, hello. Is there anybody in there? Just not if you can hear me. Is there anyone at home? Come on down. I hear you feeling down. Well, I can ease your pain, get you on your feet again. There is no pain. Eh? Here's a slideshow of Michael's cartoons. Anyway. Do you need music with this thing? La 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 la. Oh, old grandpa. Here's Michael. Anyway, you guys want to watch a video? So, George Bush was on here earlier. And, let me see if this will work. Oh, we just watched that.
This day is called the Feast of Crispin. He that outlives this day.
That's not what I wanted. Where am I? I'm sorry, you guys. I got too many balls in the in the air. I'm juggling too much. Will that be distracting or is that kind of cool? Let's leave that. Sweetie, I'm going to quit pretending I'm on Sesame Street. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I know what we can do. Okay, I promise the rest of the show is not going to be this boring. All right, so. La la la. I need to get my... Governor Andrew Cuomo made them disappear. Made who get disappear? Italy is still under a pretty tight lockdown a year later. Oh, is that it? Yeah, it's weird how that the lockdown rules, they all went into effect at the exact same time worldwide. But some countries are a little more extreme than others. Countries prone to fascism. Wisani said, had a group of niche working on butagens this weekend. At first, it was the only one not wearing a mask. By the end, half of them weren't wearing masks anymore. Yeah, when people don't wear masks, they really they make it okay for the rest of us not to. I haven't been wearing a mask lately. I do when I go into Walmart. That place freaks me out for some reason. But any other grocery store or whatever, I don't wear it. And, up here in Bemidji, Minnesota, it's so cold. I always got a scarf on anyway. But I've been... because where do you draw the line? Is it going to be at the vaccination? Is it going to be, you never would have believed that you could have been talked into doing something like this, a year ago. You wouldn't think, whatever. I think you guys know where I'm going with this. Brandy Marie says, wasn't it only children's blood? Keep them young and perfect and healthy. Yeah. That's what it is. It's when people talk about child trafficking, it's not just for the most horrible things I'm not even going to talk about on this show. I can't believe sorry, Grandpa. But yeah, all these missing children, they're it's satanic rituals. And the news always laughs it off. They go, the satanic panic. They never talk about this presence of, the satanic rituals that involve sacrificing children to Moloch, to the Baphomet, the goat god. I remember when Hillary Clinton was running, she made a joke about sacrificing chickens to Moloch. And only a person who kind of ran in those circles would know who Moloch was. Moloch is this big owl statue in, where's that place in California where all the Bushes and the Rockefellers and the secret societies get together and do ceremonies. One of the things they do is that they give blood sacrifices to Moloch. And Hillary Clinton made a joke about sacrificing chickens. And even chickens is code word for something in those circles. Yeah, she's the worst. How did I get off on this? You guys, I'm trying to do an Ojibwe language culture children's show. How are we talking about this stuff? Sweetie, what am I going to do? I don't know. All right. I wanted to play Crashing Down, but I got off a tangent again. Weesney says, at the beginning, haven't stopped working, haven't donned a mask. Good for you, Weesney. Bohemian Grove. Because there is no ending. They're never going to give us permission to not take this whatever it is seriously. Every year before this, when flu season came, you were allowed to not care. You go, yeah, I'm taking my chances. Oh, you want to get your flu shot? No thanks. I don't know what's in that thing. And you know what? If I get the flu, I get the flu. I haven't had a good NyQuil drunk in a while. I'll take my chances. Thank you. Don't worry about it. I'm an American. I don't need your your craziness. But yeah. So I don't know. I think these cartoons are moving too fast. I'm gonna go back up on the Enterprise. Hey, sweetie, will you beam me back up to the Enterprise? Yeah, sure. Wow, the audio is just perfect. This is way better than a cell phone. All right, beaming up in 3, 2, 1. Oh, that didn't work. In 3, 2. Let me move this lever. Okay, you ready? Yeah, I'm ready whenever you are. All right. Let me get a lock on your coordinates. Okay. And Here it is. All right. Beaming up in 3, 2, 1. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. It's nice to be back on the Enterprise. Did I miss anything while I was gone? Nope. Yeah. It's quiet in here too. It's weird not having the that constant. That's the other thing about the Enterprise. On that show, behind all the dialogue and the music and everything, there's this constant, the sound of the computer is working, and there's sliding doors opening and shutting, and it gets just loud. You can get on YouTube and go, oh, Star Trek sounds to sleep to. And you're like, how could anyone sleep to this? It's constant computer beeps and, If it were real, it'd be just quiet. This is the other dumb thing about outer space. So they say outer space is a vacuum. It's got no air. And so this is like where they get into trouble with theory of relativity and light being a wave and a particle. This guy goes, no, a wave is like a flag waves and an ocean wave. There are waves on an ocean. A wave is the thing does. It's not the thing. So a light wave, that's kind of missing the point. Oh, it's a wave and a particle. But then when they say things that travel, speaking of waves, when there's a boat, it's got water to push against. And, airplanes, they're in the air, they push against the air. So the rockets shoot up, presumably, into outer space, and just based on momentum alone, go to the moon. So they want us to believe, they did the math, and they're like, okay, here comes the moon. If we time this just right, we could shoot the rockets straight up, and because I guess actually they claim they're steering their spaceships after the rocket gets through the pull of gravity, and where was I going with this? Oh, so space. Oh, so it's a vacuum, right? And they claim there's no dome. But how do you keep gas if there's no wall between air and not air? Why doesn't the gas just float away? You can't say it's because of gravity. Gravity cannot select. Okay, the oxygen particles, we're going to pull those down, and so people can breathe the oxygen, and all this pollution. Smoke doesn't just go off into space. It lingers around here because of gravity. But gravity is only going to work so well on clouds. And it's not going to work at all on helium balloons. You can't have it both ways. It's a magical force. But what's interesting, I have a friend who's on Facebook, and he's really smart. He's really funny. Really like him. But he's totally, brainwashed. He mocks stuff he doesn't understand, like flat Earth. He hasn't researched it, just writes stuff like, if flat earthers don't believe in the Earth is a spinning globe, then what do they think? We just go up, or how do flat earthers explain, the lunar eclipse? I was like, well, look into it, dummy. You're asking these kind of provocative things on Facebook to see if see if somebody else will come out of the closet as a flat earther or whatever. But it's got a mocking tone about stuff. And but he loves NASA. And you know. He's really excited about going to Mars. It's like, you dummy. No one's gone to Mars. It's a red light. It's not even a planet. Do you really believe they shot a rocket up and that little spaceship flew to a planet, a spinning planet, millions of miles away? What did how did the parachute work when the Mars rover landed? They never tested that. There was a different gravity and air density and whatever on Mars, is what they say. So the brilliant scientists got together and all, they all got together, did the math, built a ship, and then with a remote control and whatever, landed this Mars rover with a parachute. I saw the graphics. On Mars. They had no way to test how that would land on Earth because it's a different planet, right? Just like every moon mission, no problem. Problem free. They never lost contact with the Mars rover. And then the little car gets out. Again, I didn't do my research. I should have pulled up a graphic of what the Mars rover looks like. And since 1996, they've been driving around on Mars, taking pictures, gathering up soil samples, and sending back data to NASA. And now they want to send a manned mission to Mars. Can't get back to the moon, but they're going to go to Mars. And and then they make up like the fake controversies. They go, oh, they're going to colonize Mars. That's bad. That's racist against Martians. It's like, you idiots. Can anybody just ask the question, like, how in the world do you expect us to believe that you guys are doing that? But it's a spell. If you tell somebody how ridiculous it is to believe it that they went to Mars, let alone to the moon 6 times in 6 years or whatever, that Richard Nixon made a phone call from the White House to the moon. If they can't recognize that that's somebody playing a trick on them, then they can't open their mind to other possibilities that they've been lied to. It's like, yeah, the Hubble telescope isn't really, that's not real. Oh no, we shot a satellite out into space, millions of miles away, that would shoot back photographs. Next time you start taking your problems all seriously, just remember, this is you. And they show a little blue speck in outer space. And they say, oh, that's from a satellite. It's like, really? How many millions of miles away are we from when we sent that satellite out? Can we just ask Dear NASA, you are the sole resource material for us. There is nobody who doesn't work for NASA who can tell us anything about outer space. And there's a lot of evidence to suggest that you are lying about stuff, that you make up a fake picture on Photoshop and you release it to the newspaper, say, hey, look at this, here's a picture of a whatever. But you don't tell us, no, that's not a real photograph. There should be thousands of pictures, at least hundreds of pictures of the Earth from the moon. But nope. Couldn't be bothered. What's this now? Once I was a fool, dreaming my life away. And then yesterday I found you looking for me, dragging your heart around. And don't get me started on 9/11. You know, crashing down. The song is called Crashing Down, and it's written by Michael Lyons.
Crashing down, crashing down, crashing down, crashing down, crashing ashes, ashes, crashing ball fall, 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 crashing down, crashing down, crashing down, crashing down, crashing ashes, ashes, crashing ball fall, 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 crashing down, 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 crashing
Check, check. Hey, everybody. I think that was enough conspiracy talk for one day. Conspiracy talk? That's not conspiracy talk. You don't think so? No, I'm just trying to tell the truth. Yeah. You're going to get our show taken down. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, welcome back to the show. And, so I really like that song, Crashing Down. Michael wrote that song. Kind of a 9/11 show. Oh, look at me now. I'm in the captain's chair. Yeah. Crashing down. Do we have any other backgrounds? So, welcome back to Entertainment Tonight. Do 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 do. La 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 la. So, yeah. Today's Ojibwe word of the day. Niwakiwe. I want to go home. Have you ever felt like, oh, I just want to go home? I don't even care anymore. Just want to go home. Well, Michael wrote that song about his grandpa yesterday. Actually didn't. I think that was the phrase of the day yesterday. We couldn't be bothered to teach a new one. This show's really gone off the rails since we got the green screen. All right. So, Jessica says, the atmosphere, the same thing that causes things to burn up when they enter it. Ever seen a shooting star? Yeah. I mean, I've seen shooting stars, but I only see shooting stars coming down. If we were on a spinning ball, you should see a shooting star going straight up sometimes. You know? I don't know what shooting stars are. Joe Biden is expected to issue a mandatory mask mandate for all venues over which he has jurisdiction. Well, didn't he already do that? Say you had to wear masks in federal buildings, and then that very day he goes to like the Lincoln Memorial, no mask. He's like, hey dummy, you just made a mandate. Well, yeah. Richard says, Star Trek's transporter sounds like a super flushing toilet. Yeah. Jessica says, Nanaboozhoo, I promise you outer space is real. How could you possibly make that promise? One of my best friends is a space photographer. A hobby not paid by anyone. Goes in his backyard with a telescope and a camera that takes amazing pictures. Well, I'm sure it is amazing up there, those lights. There's just no evidence that it's a vast universe like they tell us. I'm sure your friend's taking pictures of stuff, but you know what, actually, have you ever seen like the real pictures of stars and Saturn and stuff? They don't look like those paintings that NASA gives you. They look flat. And there's weird stuff going on up there where it looks like water. You know? There was this weird thing that happened in Norway, and I think it happened over California once, where it was nighttime and a rocket somehow blew up in the air and it created this beautiful ripply light show in the sky. It was just huge. You know, hundreds of videos of it. But when you look at it like, what would it look like if a rocket shot into water, into the ocean, and blew up? That's what it kind of looked like. It makes you go, what? Did they shoot a rocket through the dome into water? What is that? But yeah. Jessica, or Shady Side says, comic character Marvin the Martian has samples of Illudium Q36. Oh no. Illudium Q36. Yeah, remember that little Martian? He was always moving his Roman helmet around. That was such a weird cartoon. And yeah, he was going to destroy the Earth from the moon or something. Jessica says his Instagram is mstark2. If anyone wants to check out the pictures, mstark2. Yeah, if I remember, I'll check him out. Maybe I can put him on the show. But, yeah. Just because you're taking pictures of the black stuff with lights in it doesn't mean that's not evidence for it being outer space. Not unless you can actually trust the people who say that they go there and turn around and take pictures of the Earth, you know. And that's where I think they're lying. I don't think they do that. You know, it starts with conspiracy theories. It starts with Santa Claus. And then when you get to the bottom of the Santa Claus conspiracy, you know, how they faked the Christmas guy, then you start moving on to other things. Loch Ness Monster, aliens in the pyramids and that stuff. And then everyone eventually gets to the moon. And there comes a point where you either got to decide that you believe he went to the moon and that it's possible and that they did that, or you think they faked it and they didn't go. And for most of my life, I thought, well, yeah, you could go to the moon, but they faked it in the 60s. They weren't. There's no way before they had color TV or whatever. They had the technology to fly to the moon and land a car there, drive a car around on it, play golf, you know, take off from the moon again, you know, connect with a spaceship, fly back with new crew every time, no deaths, whatever. Richard Nixon, call him from the moon. You know, if you believe all that, that's where it ends. But a lot of people go, okay, no, that's fake. But then, when it comes to like flat earth stuff, you go, wait a sec, what if there's a dome over this? And you start going, what if outer space is fake and we actually live underwater? You go, why do I think space is real? Well, because Star Trek, because NASA said they went to the moon and they have these pictures of outer space. But if the pictures are fake and they're lying about leaving, you know, you just have to take their word for it. No, it's true. We shot a rocket into space. Yeah, because it's just black space up there. Everybody knows that. Why is it blue during the day? Why can't we just see out in black? Oh, it's a reflection of the atmosphere? Let's say that. The atmosphere, you mean a dome? No, there's no such thing as a dome. There's a general gradation of thick air down here, and as you go up it gets colder, I guess. Is space cold? You know? When does it get hot again? How close do you have to get to the sun in outer space when it starts to warm up? Oh, but there's no air, so you've got a burning ball of fire that never goes out. How they know this? Don't know. But NASA claims there's a ball of fire burning in no oxygen, gives no heat. Or no, it gives superheat. Yeah, they say during the day, the moon is really hot. And at night, really cold. And you just look at the moon. Do I have a picture of the moon somewhere? And it's really bright. Super bright, like a flashlight. Sometimes when the full moon's glowing so bright, it can cast shadows at night. And you look at it, you almost have to squint. Okay, then you look at the pictures of the moon landing. It's gray, not very bright at all. They never talk about, oh yeah, we landed on the moon, it was super bright, you know, because it reflects the sun. No, it doesn't. It's not a reflecting ball. It's not the cue ball glowing up there. It's a light. You can't land on it. the sun. Can you land on the sun? No, that's a burning ball of fire. Well, it's a light. I don't know if it's a ball of fire. It's a burning, it's not even know if it's burning. It feels warm for sure. And it's a light. But they say the moon is actually cold. If you take the temperature in moonlight and then you take the temperature in the shade of moonlight, the shade will be warmer. The moon is cold. It's just like that David Bowie song. Colder than the moon. Well, it's been so long, and I've been putting out fire with gasoline. Deepak Jesus, the moon. The moon. And you have been watching, where is it? You have been watching Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo, the tiny print live stream podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. This has once again gone off the rails talking about conspiracy theories. But nobody said anything so far. I think we have to admit we're not that important that the YouTube squid overlords are going to take down our channel if we talk about stuff. I'm going to quit. That's part of the spell too. They show you all these stories of, this person got taken down. He was censored. The government's going to censor you. And so you don't say anything. It's like the mask thing. If you don't wear a mask, something bad's going to happen. Well, not really. You're not really breaking the law. No, I saw a YouTube video. The cops harassed this guy for not wearing his mask. They detained him, and, a bunch of people at Trader Joe's started crying in the store because they weren't wearing their masks. But then you don't wear your mask and you walk around, everyone's fine. So whatever. I like talking about this stuff with you guys, actually. But we gotta go. So, thank you so much for watching. Miigwech Ganawabieg. Thank you for watching Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Natasha, and that was Nanaboozhoo. Down here is Michael, and I'll see you tomorrow. Gigawabamin, Minowaha, la-di-da, la-di-da-di-da, and live stream.